And hey, everybody, welcome to Bonus Stuff. We just got done reviewing The Bike Riders. So go check out that review. Guys, I couldn't think of a bonus stuff. I was traveling, so I didn't think of one. But so we're just going to dive right into the House of the Dragon. And it was episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Gold. I did not understand this title. Did you guys understand it?
I never look at the title, so I just heard it for the first time as you tell me. The red
Okay.
dragon and the gold. Well, there was a red dragon and a gold dragon.
So there was a red dragon.
The red dragon was the princesses. The gold dragon was the kings.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think it, but it's not the red dragon and the gold dragon. It's just the red dragon and the gold.
Oh.
Someone explained it that at one part of the episode they say that they're running out of gold, so maybe that's where that title comes from. But that would be very obscure.
They said they have like control of all their finances, but
because he said Damon didn't have any money at what's his fate or where that brother place is where he's losing his marbles.
Yeah. Well, all I know.
I don't know. Maybe someone will tell us someday. All right. So the story starts off with Damon, and he's having a little bit of trouble sleeping in the spooky castle, man. He's seeing his like young version of his wife in dreams, and he's chopping off her head, and she's still talking even though her head's on the floor. He's chasing down another person that looks just like him, and it's actually like him with an eye patch. So what the heck is going on with Damon? He meets that weird lady that we saw that we've been seeing for the past couple of episodes, and she's
very talkative.
Hey, yeah, she's like, hey, I make the medicine around here, so why don't I give you some sleepy medicine? So he takes that, and all of a sudden he wakes up in the middle of a meeting, and he's going like, ooh, and who are you? And they're like, you know him, he was just talking to you. And he's like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Meanwhile, Sir Christian is on the move, traveling in the night like the dark night that we all needed. So he can't be seen by those dragon's eyes, man. And he's over there executing people who don't want to join the cause and gathering up some armies. And they call him the Kingmaker. That's his new superhero name, guys. He's the Kingmaker.
Of all the people in Game of Thrones, House of Dragon history, this man deserves the least, but he has gotten more and more. And it's just, I don't know. Okay, well, I'll save it for later. Go ahead. Sorry.
And more. So King Aegon, that's the young guy, right?
Yep.
He wants to know what's going on. No one's telling him anything. He's in the meeting, and he's got the, that little egg thing they always play with and spinning around. He's like, wee. But he's kind of mad because Kristen and Aemon, his brother, they kind of got their plans, man. They got the strategy. They moved those little bottle caps up and down the board, and they're ready to do some warring, and he just wants to be a part of it. But they're like, nah, you're not very good at this stuff. And he can't even speak good English, man. He's like, or not English, I was going to say Elvish. He doesn't know that Elvish tongue. Like his brother.
Joseph, God's sake.
Elvish tongue.
They're the elves in this story, right?
No.
The club-footed guys, like, he looks at him and he's like, hey, doesn't Damon have your castle? Maybe we should go get that. And he's like, that castle's more crippled than I am. And everyone's like, ha. And then there's that Alan the fisherman guy. I have no idea who that guy was for most of the time. And then they kind of insinuate that he's the Corlys's son. So that's what they're kind of insinuating. So that's why
that was
important.
A very creepy way to do it, though.
It was a little strange.
She's like, oh, your mother must have been so beautiful. I'm just like, that's an odd thing to say to a grown man.
I guess it was supposed to be her more like almost jealousy type that she never got to be with him in that way. And I don't know if
she doesn't seem like a jealous kind of person, though.
Or not like, maybe not jealous.
She's more like rubbing
wishful,
it in.
I guess, kind of. I don't know.
Like I have this piece that I can use for my own gain now, or something like that.
It's her own husband, though. So
yep. So meanwhile, the Queen Mother, Alicent, I think that's her name, right? She's got to order some tea because she's been having a lot of naughty time with Sir Christian. So she orders that tea.
I'm sorry.
And that
I loved Anna. That was hilarious. Like, I can't say what she said to her.
I don't remember what she said.
It starts with an S.
Oh,
a woman who has been very loose.
So yeah, that guy. What are these guys? They're the Macers or something.
Yeah.
Maesters. They're kind of the medicine people, I guess. So he brings it. He brings it to her, and she's like, "Hey, who did the king think should have been king?" And he's like, "I don't know. They never asked me. I'm out of here.
Don't get me in your tangled web, woman."
So she's got the tea. She's also trying the hot rock method, and that looks kind of painful, making her. She looks terrible. Someone tells her that too. She's looking pretty terrible, and she's like, "Well, a lot of people just died this last week, so I'm not in the very good mood." So she talks to the clubfoot guy, right? And then she talks to her son at one point because he's whining. He's like, "They won't let me in on the warg, Mom. What should I do?" And she's like, "Just do nothing. That's all you're good for." And she's like, "You better watch your mouth, woman." And she's like, "What are you gonna do? Kill me? Hang me like you did the rat people?"
Rat people, Jared.
The rat people. And then finally, because you were in this episode, and you're like, "Oh no, are they not going to get to a battle?" But then finally, what we've all been waiting for, we get a battle, and it's called the Battle of Rook's Rest. And it starts with Sir Christian. He's like, "Hey, we're going to attack in the daytime because they all know I'm the Dark Knight, and they'll be expecting me at night. So we're going to head in there in the day, and they'll be all surprised."
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
He gave him the moniker of the Dark Knight earlier in the recap.
Oh,
yeah, you missed that.
Okay. How did I miss that? I was right here.
I don't know. So he's like, "We're going to attack in the day." And they were surprised for like 10 minutes, but that's all it lasted because they just start raining down arrows on all the men, and they're all dying, and they're like, "Oh no." And then they're like, "Uh-oh, dragon." So the old princess, she comes in on Shrek's or Donkey's wife looking dragon, and she's ready to blow up stuff, firing all the troops and stuff, and they're running like crazy. They're like, "Oh no, what the heck we're gonna do?" Sir Christian's not concerned though, because this was all part of the plan. You see, they got Aemon over here. He's on that big ugly green dragon, and he's like waiting in the forest for the signal. And before he can get off the ground, though, his brother comes in, the king, and he's got his dragon. His dragon's kind of cool looking.
He's a little tipsy too.
It's very different looking than the other dragons. I think what's it called? Sunbrighter or something?
Sunfire.
It's very different looking dragon. It's very nimble and swift, but it doesn't look like it could stand much of a chance against Donkey's wife because she's really big. And so he attacks with fire, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it." And then it's not even hurt at all. And then it starts like scratching the little dragon, and his blood's gushing out, drops on the troops, and they're burning because dragon blood's really hot. And they're like, "Oh." So it's time for Aemon because Aemon sees his brother, and he's like, "Well, look at that idiot, man. I was supposed to be the guy in charge." So he flies up there, and he's thinking right there. He's like, "I can get rid of some of my problems." Shoots, tells the dragon to shoot fire right at the king, and the king looks at Aemon, and he's like, "All right, man, the brothers are gonna rule this battle." But then he sees him blow fire at him. He's like, "Oh crap!" He's like, "Ah." So he goes down. The king is down, everyone. Sir Christian sees this. He's all, "Shoot, the king is down, man." He just gave a really good speech about, "Hey, the king is here, and he's got his dragon, so we're going to win this battle, man." And they're like, "Yeah, we can do this." So they're all charging, but then the dragon falls on them because somehow the green dragon's huge, right? So it doesn't look like it'd be much fight for the red dragon. It looks like the red dragon will get his butt kicked, but somehow the red dragon kicks the green dragon down, and that guy lands, and everyone it lands on top of Sir Christian and his men, and they're all down and so everyone's knocked out, man. And then the red dragon lady, she's like, "Yeah, I got this. I won this battle, but we just got to make sure they're dead, man. So just turn it around, go one more shot." So she turns the dragon around. It comes back around, and she's like, "Where's the green dragon? I don't see the green dragon." And then it comes up, messes up the red dragon, and the old princess falls, and I'm pretty sure she's dead because we just see her go, "Oh." So the battle, I don't know who won because everyone's pretty much dead on both sides. But Sir Christian wakes up and then he walks over. He's got to find the king. Where the heck is the king? And he sees Aemon, and Aemon's like, he's got his sword. He's being kind of sneaky. And he's like, "Hey, what you doing?" And he puts his sword away. He got the king's knife, that important knife that does like the one ring thing where you put it in fire and it tells you stuff. And then
it doesn't have any effect on the story whatsoever in later seasons. So it's useless.
Has nothing to do with Game of Thrones at all. Nothing, no questions. What?
So he walks up and he's like, "Where's the king?" And then he like points the king. And the king's like, I thought he was going to be all burnt or crushed and crumpled up, but he just looks like a sleeping perverted baby that he is. So I don't know if he's dead or not. And the show went to credits, so I guess we'll learn next time what happened to the king.
I have an important question. What is Donkey's wife's name? They just call her Dragon? Like, does she have a name?
In the actual Shrek movies?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Donkey's wife, Dragon.
Full title.
I just remembered that they had babies, and that kind of horrified me.
They did have babies.
Hybrids.
Flying babies, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll see one of them in the next episode. All right, so this episode I thought was really good. Best of season 2 so far, just because it finally gave me a battle I was waiting for. And I liked all the parts. I like Sir Christian doing some stuff. I like Aemon betraying his brother because his brother's dumb. And I like the torment that Daemon's going through in this stupid spooky castle that he hates and wants to get out of, but no one's helping him in that regard.
You enjoy all the weird parts, Joe. Like all the wrong parts, by the way.
The wrong parts. There's no wrong parts. There's only the story. So what'd you guys think of it?
I mean, I liked it. I know I've read the book. I know what's going to happen. So like, I'm enjoying it. I'm like seeing it like on the big screen. I like that. I've
been told that they changed a bit from the books.
They did. But I do like that Daemon's actually writing, or not Daemon, Aegon's writing Sunfire in Aegon the Conqueror's armor, which I think is kind of cool because that's entirely made of Valyrian steel. It's kind of like Mithril in this world. So that armor that he's wearing is pretty much what the kingdom's worth. It's very expensive.
So he is an elf.
No, he's not. That's the dwarves, Joseph. Like, shut up. Jeez. But like Vaegar's, or sorry, what's his name? Aemon's dragon is very interesting because that's the last dragon from the conquering, from Aegon's conquest. So that dragon is as old as the kingdom of Westeros. That's why he's so big too. But he's also really old and really slow. But that kind of brings into question that they're waiting for the princess, and I always forget her name. All the Valyrian names are weird.
Ceres or something like that.
No, I don't remember her name.
I'll look at it.
Which princess are we talking about?
The older princess.
The older princess.
The old princess.
The one that went,
If that was like his plan, like she almost kicked that guy's butt. If it wasn't for the king showing up and her already taking damage, he would have won. Like, honestly. Because she went head to head with the guy and kind of beat the crap out of him already. So
but I don't know if they thought she was going to be there.
They knew somebody was going to be there.
Someone's going to be there, yeah.
Rhaenys Targaryen.
Rhaenys.
Rhaenys.
I did like seeing Christian getting like his head caved in almost on the ground. That was great.
That literally, wasn't even close.
Literally everybody that was watching us went, "Yay, good job!" And then when he got up, we're like, "Oh, so darn, he's almost dead."
Why would you think he was even dead? He's Sir Christian, man, the Kingmaker.
We can have hope. We can have hope.
Oh.
That's false hope, guys. You shouldn't be spreading false hope over there.
I hate you so much, Joseph. I hate you so much.
He's still got so much left to do in this.
He's
film.
got so much left to give.
So much to give.
All right, or Michael, go for it.
Okay. I think this episode was really good. I have a major problem with it, which we'll get to
Oh,
at the
no.
end. We'll get to at the end.
Oh no!
It doesn't change anything with the story. It's just stupid. Just think through for 5 seconds about your actions. Anyway, starting at the beginning with Damon, I am getting a little frustrated with the lack of Damon doing anything. I'm like, I like
Mhm.
Damon as a
Stuck there?
character, and
Yeah.
he's just like all the other stuff. They're like, hey, we're gonna have Rhaenyra. She's gonna go to King's Landing and be back in like half an episode. But Damon's just taking sleepy naps and taking weird old men to dinner and talking to weird weird young ladies. And I don't know. I want something to happen there. That part of the story they're dragging out a lot. We're not getting anywhere. I'm not feeling any progression. So I'm a
We
little
keep
frustrated with
having
that, but-
basically the same dream over and
Yeah,
over
it's like-
again. Same story beats. We're like, okay, we get it. He's not liking this place.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna do this, like do it in one episode later on. Like if he's not gonna be a part of it, don't force him in it. Anyway, so that's where we're at with Damon. There were cool scenes. I will go from that, like the dream scene, like the head chopping off scene, and all that cool stuff. I like the scene with Rhaenyra's coming back from King's Landing, and they're all like pissed, like, where the heck have you been? Blah blah blah. And she's like, well, I just went to King's Landing. They're like, excuse me, what? You did what?
Oh yeah.
She was like, I had to make sure, which I respect this from her character, even though it seems, I mean, I don't know, it's so different from, I feel like, everyone else's perspectives on all of this, because she's so determined not to have conflict without reason, and so she goes there and she's like, I had to do every bit that I could before declaring war or actually going heavy into this. So that kind of excited me. I'm like, oh cool, because she was planning, she's like, I'm gonna go fight this battle, I'm gonna go help them and protect them. And then the princess is like, no, you're gonna send me. And they were okay. 2 problems this episode. They were way too telegraphed with what's going to happen with her in this episode. It's like, we get it, she's turned around 5 times during the fight, we get it. Just anyway, the battle itself.
Yeah.
We'll talk about really fast. The King's Landing people. I love what they're doing with Aemon. Aemon is the.
Yeah.
I get him
The
confused.
eye patch.
Aemon's okay. So not Aemon. Aemond. Which one's the young one? Which one's the actual king? Thomas, help me out here.
Aegon's the king.
Aegon's king. I don't know why. I'm just anyway. Aegon. I love what they're doing with this character because he's so stupid. And his mom just tells him straight up, like, you're useless. Like, basically, he's like, my brother's unplugged the controller, but pretending like I'm still playing. And then, like, but I'm too smart for that. Like, she's like, no, you're not smart. She's like, because he's just this big brat kid that got put into power, and now she's realizing that he shouldn't have been, even though she thought the
Although-
king wanted him to because of that.
That
episode.
that does make me frustrated with Allison, though. Like even more so. I'm just
Yeah.
like, you're causing all this now.
Yeah,
for,
now you're just.
for nothing.
But what else can she do?
Yeah, I mean, she keeps saying it. She's like, war's gonna happen no matter what now because of what has happened. But it's still
Mhm.
like you're just throwing a fit now. That's all she's doing. She's not trying to help in any way. But I did
Seems like a convenient excuse to shirk responsibility, but whatever.
but I liked his character and how he's just extremely but I liked her line where she's like, all these people have earned their places, you were just put there, try and listen for once. And it's just like
Mhm.
nothing gets through this ignorant child's skull. He's like, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna kill my dragon, I'm gonna go fight. Like, it's so stupid.
He is a fun character.
He's
how
a fun
stupid
character, and he does such a
Yeah.
good job too.
Yeah, the
his
acting,
expressions. I like his like the way his expressions are a lot.
Which is weird because in the first season, I didn't really
Yeah,
like
I
care
don't
for
remember
him
much
at
about
all.
him.
Yeah,
This
he's
is like,
just,
oh, wow.
wanking off on top of the wall all the
He's
time.
what now?
He was wanking off on top of the wall. If you remember that,
I don't remember that.
yeah, that's like how
outside
they introduced him.
outside the window.
Yeah,
Oh dang. I mean, wouldn't you? I don't know. For King and Castle, do what you want with it. So anyways, getting to the battle. I thought the battle was excellent. The progression of it was so cool. The Ray Nees. That was her name, right? We said that right. Ray Nees, yeah. She shows up and fights, Aegon, and she just like kicks his butt, which is very enjoyable. Because like the little baby brat is getting when he gets, but then the big dragon gets up, and you're like, oh crud. So you obviously, like I said, telegraph what's gonna happen. My big issue with the fight. Well, I would say initially, like whenever she's fighting the big dragon, and that shot where all the soldiers are looking up, and it's just like that swirl of fire, and that's how they get brought down because they're like, he has her by the leg, I think, and then she has him somewhere, and they're just kind of spiraling and spinning and blowing flames, and they hit the ground. And it's such a freaking cool shot of that just in the air going around. My big complaint is, though, apart from the telegraphing of obviously she's going to lose this fight, is the fact that it's like you have the ending point where they hit the ground, she gets up, flies up, turns around, comes back through. It's like any seasoned, which she is a seasoned dragon rider in this world, isn't
Probably the most.
it's like if you don't know where your enemy is, you're not going to be flying 100 feet off the ground. You're going to be in the air looking for this giant thing. It's like it's just the most ignorant, stupid scene. So basically, Jared, how
it was kind of hard to miss too, because he landed right where he took off. Right
I know.
he landed.
So she's flying, and I'm like, easy fix. Make it like actually like make something catch fire and just smoke is everywhere. Make her confused and lost. Build that tension. But instead, Jared, she's just flying. Here's the ground. She's flying over it. She can't find the dragon. So her idea is, will you stop? Her idea is, I'm gonna look for the dragon like I'm looking for people like this. Instead of way up here, she's here, and then the castle's here, and she goes over the castle wall. And for some reason, this giant dragon is he's doing this. Here's castle. He's doing this behind it. He's just floating like he's a birdo or something. And just the moment she pops up, it's like a shark. So I thought it's just utterly stupid in my opinion. That scenario, how that plays out. Like Alex and I both. I'm like, none of that makes sense. You're making her look stupid, and you're making it look possible that this big dragon timed that perfectly and can hide. I'm like, he got off the ground, hid behind the castle. I was like, I'm gonna get her. She's gonna come over here. I'm gonna get her. It's like, the whole scenario is absolutely absurd. Apart from that, excellent episode. Progression with cool characters, and the fight was cool.
Like squeezed her head.
That was
like the dragon's head.
I do like that, but it's also so it's almost a little too showy. It's like, oh, we're gonna have her look back and because they just had the moment before where they look at each other and she's like, we're gonna fight, and then they have the other one. You made me fight. Dead. It was very cool though.
Yeah, I didn't. Because I was expecting him just like to tear her off the head, and I just like how he just kind of squeezed it.
Just squeezed it, it died, and then she fell.
Although that does make Aemon a kinslayer now, a confirmed kinslayer.
True.
Because is he dead?
That dude's messed up, man. That dude's
no.
Aemon.
I'm not talking just about him though, or not the king, but he already killed that one prince from Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
and now he just killed his aunt. So,
okay.
I do. I don't think Aegon's dead. I feel like he's probably just disfigured and burnt. Tom Shiggins' head, so he knows. And I feel like
a big part of the story. I don't want to give anything away.
I feel like you would have it would have been a shown thing if he was going to die.
Because I thought he was dead, but then when they showed him, he was just like kind of laying there. So it's like, he's probably not dead.
I'm going to say this, Thomas, and I apologize. I do like this scenario with Sir Christian and how he's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, because Aemon has his sword out and he's like, oh, I gotta finish little bro off. And he's like, whoa, that's too, like, he has a smidgen of honor somewhere left in there where he's like, we can't kill the king. That's not something we can do right now. So I will give Sir Christian some tiny little props for this episode. But apart from that,
he was
good episode.
Like freaking out when the king like crashed. He's like, oh
no, my side piece's son is gonna be hurt. Oh no.
He's the hero we deserve.
Yeah, not the one we asked for.
Joseph was right the whole time. He is the Dark Knight.
And Aemon's the older brother or younger brother, Michael.
No, you confused me earlier. I asked which one was younger and older. Now I'm confused.
You're confusing him so much.
Aegon is the patch boy.
Aegon's the king.
Yes.
What?
Wait,
Aegon.
What? Aegon is the king.
The king.
That's what I said earlier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, he's the oldest.
You did say that.
Wait, the king. Which one's older, Eye Patch Boy or the other
the
one?
King.
The king's older.
Yes, that's why he's the king.
Why is that kid so tall? Yeah, that makes sense.
He's just so tall.
I don't know why. I always thought he was the younger one.
They kind of miscast this. If I'm not.
Yeah, I was thinking that he was king just because he had the name Aegon. No, I thought he was still younger though. Okay. Interesting.
I'm sorry, but the Aemon, the younger brother, does look about 5 to 8 years older than.
And why has he got to do duck face all the time?
Which one?
A lot of actors do that.
It's like we got
Because he's evil.
get him. Other one. We gotta get him off of. And his jaw's just so long that it just makes it so much more dramatic. I mean, he looks cool, but it's just.
I just want him to
he's
fight
supposed to be-
Damon, right?
He's supposed to be younger than the brown-headed prince,
Really?
Rhaenyra's
that-
son.
That's true. Yeah, he
supposed-
is, huh?
He's supposed to be younger than him. I'm just
that
like,
guy
dude,
looks like a
he's-
baby too, man.
like, I think they miscast. I mean, he's a cool villain.
Yeah.
but that's
But he
definitely
just
not.
feels age-wise off. I will say I liked her brown-headed son, the actor. He's really
I liked him. He's
He's
I
really-
liked his character.
he
so.
he's had some cool moments I liked. But yeah, good
I
episode.
did
Alright.
like that. Where were you?
It's just like you were where?
Honestly, that would have been me as a son. Like, what? You did what, mom?
This is like I was watching, like, thinking through this today, and it's just like if Game of Thrones was the conniving, like undertow, hidden secret plans and all this junk, this is just pure chaos compared to it. No, everyone has a plan, but everyone is flying by the seat of their pants. Nobody has any clue what the heck they're doing in this show.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
It's absurd.
It's
It's
because
the
you
dance-
can't, because everything just crazy.
'Cause they're-
Well,
happens.
it's
Family
the,
just
it's the
splitting.
dance of dragons, man.
Yeah.
Like this is the moment, like in like the kingdom, like the monarchy, where everything basically starts going downhill.
It's just like, good lord, everyone's lost it. I like it though. It's fun.
And what I always forget, the dunk and egg ones come after this.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is 200 years before Game of Thrones. Dunk and Egg is about 90
What
years.
the heck is Dunk and Egg?
So
It's the next prequel series.
it's,
Oh.
it's the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's like my favorite thing that
Okay.
George
Shut up,
Martin's ever
Michael.
written.
The Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
No,
It's
no,
not
it's-
a breakfast place,
uh,
Michael.
Is this where Humpty Dumpty
the-
comes from?
the audiobook is read by oh god, what's his name? The guy that played Daenerys' brother. What's his name? He was in Doctor Who. Forgot his name.
Daenerys' brother. Oh,
And
I don't know his name, but he's very
Yeah.
cool. I love that actor.
yeah, no, he reads the audiobook. It's really good.
Nice. He's
It's
so
it's my favorite story George Martin has ever done.
Nice.
So I really
Very
recommend that one
Yeah,
because they're all like self-contained stories. They're really good.
that's a lot of people's favorite I've been hearing. And they already cast the guy, so
You better be 7 feet
I think he's an
tall.
Gotta get my
was
boss.
an MMA fighter, I think. And he
I
like
haven't
turned
seen
that
him.
turned into
but-
an actor.
Dunk is supposed to be like 7 feet. Sir Duncan the Tall.
Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan Idaho.
Dunkin' Donuts.
He was already in Game of Thrones.
You can't give a character the name Duncan and not have me laugh because that is a hilarious name.
It's like a what's that cartoon? Doug. Anybody with a name
Doug?
Doug? I'm like,
Do, 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 do,
hey Doug,
Hey, Doug.
Dougie.
All right. There wasn't much news this time.
No news.
Someone said something really stupid.
You gotta clarify.
So it was Elena Pierce. She was like an IGN host or something like that.
Alana.
Alana.
Pierce.
Elena Pierce.
Elena Pierce. So she was like on a stream and she was saying, if you have kids, and you're a gamer, you have a disability because you can't, because they were talking about like Elden Ring and how you can't pause. And she's like, well, you can't pause, but you need to go get your kids. So if they need to put a pause button in the accessibility because you have a disability. And everyone pretty much made fun of that. So that was a
feel like-
laughter for a day.
I'm not gonna lie, I need a pause button in that game.
I was gonna
'Cause
say
Luna
it
won't
could
be
come
doing
in
some-
handy, yeah, in a big way.
Luna's like tearing pictures off the wall, and I need to pause and go get it, but I'm fighting this knight, and now I have to die because Luna's
And I feel-
Well,
attacking
that's
the wall.
fine, but that doesn't mean you have a disability because you have to go
Oh
like
yeah.
do your
More like
parenting.
I feel like that's got to
more
be
like an
taken out of
inconvenience.
context. Like, there's got to be
Not
more
just
to that.
poor choice of
headline.
words.
Yeah. But I feel like that was a big thing when it first started with Dark Souls because you get invaded,
Yeah.
and so it's always online, so you couldn't pause. I'm like,
But you
nobody
can
actually invades you
switch.
anymore. You
Yeah.
like choose when you're doing PvP in the areas. I'm like, give it.
Well,
let
that's the
it
thing is,
pause.
if you had like invasions on, then yeah, maybe pause would be disabled. But if you have them off, there's no reason why you couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, really. So
Weird subject.
It's a
Maybe they
weird
just
subject
said
pop
that.
up.
poorly worded, but I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
yeah.
Maybe they don't have a pause button because they think it'd be harder to change weapons, or it'd be easier to change weapons if you could just pause and.
I didn't think
Well, I
about
get that, but just be a pause button, just like boom,
Items.
pause.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I'm
like
just
just like
saying
an option
that's why they
screen.
don't have it, just
Yeah.
because they want to make it harder.
Could you hit the home button and then go away, and then when you put
That's
the home
what you
button,
have to do.
That's
does it
what I
pause
do.
it?
Yeah.
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 and then when
It
you come
has-
back, you're
it
just
has to.
automatically in the battle
There's
again.
no
Yeah.
input.
Interesting. I still have only fought
Uh,
the last boss of DLC like 3 times. I've been going around the rest of the map, so I need to spend the day and try and be.
Dude, I have been finding some stuff in just the regular game. I was like, oh my god, this is here. I was like,
I did restart Elden Ring probably like 9 months back, and it's like when I had a break in school, and I was just like going for the first like few like areas. I'm like, this is so easy now, but then I got to like that one part where you go into the what's the red area?
Khaled?
Yeah, I was like, oh crap, blood sickness. Oh god,
That
Yeah,
rot,
I-
man. It's
that
dude, the
blood rot.
status
No
the
joke.
status effects are terrible in that game.
Yeah,
You get a little poison, the bar's like, whoop, and I'm like,
Dude,
God.
there's a boss that does holy or madness damage in the DLC, and there's just like nothing worse than the madness damage because you get first of all, if you get hit with it, then you get stuck and you're grabbing your head for like 30 seconds, so he just comes and hits you a bunch, and you're like,
Dude, I've been seeing clips for these new bosses. They look insane, like especially that
They're
hippo.
tough.
I was like, geez.
dude,
are they are any of them as hard as Lania?
everyone's saying 2 are harder. The last one is apparently the hardest of all souls, and I'm
Dang.
waiting to get all the upgrades for the rest of the map to go actually fight him. The hippo, there are 3 bosses I think are stupid. The hippo was one of them, just because hitboxes, man. It's like Smash Bros. Hitbox stuff. I'm like, the hippo's over here, his head's landing there. I'm behind his back foreleg, and I'm getting hit by his forward attack. I'm like, no. And then there's a sunflower boss. Utterly
Mhm.
stupid. Just
We were
stupid.
talking about it at work, like if there's any kind of beasts, because I do well against like knights and stuff like that, human
All right,
characters.
those are my favorite fights.
But the beast like bosses, I just get demolished. They're always just like attacking me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
Leave me alone. I don't know.
What else do I did like that story about the guy who beat the first boss with a donut in his hand.
That was a girl. And,
Oh,
then,
was
and
it?
then there's some dude that has now beaten New Game Plus 7 without dying at level 1. He has beat the game
Jeez.
7 times without
Dang.
dying at level 1. with
There
the
is
same
one guy
character.
playing with like a drum kit.
One guy with the saxophone.
Someone's got to just. It's like you just. What do you gain from this? Where
I don't
does this
wanna
lead
hear
you
that
in
this
life?
Game is hard when guys are saxophoning it up.
I'm more mad at the people saxophoning. Find better things to do with your time. Eating donuts and stuff and playing with saxophones and Donkey Kong drums.
That's
Get out of
true.
here.
Like focus that energy into something.
Anything else? Go solve world hunger, man. You beat it today.
Some guy's Kenny G'ing it up over there. Xbox went down. I don't remember what day this was, but it was like for 7 hours. It was nuts.
Dang.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Today there was like this weird thing going on with Rotten Tomatoes where it would remove the audience score from like shows like The Acolyte. It wasn't showing up.
Don't look at
I
that.
saw someone's
Yeah.
comment on it was IGN post, so imagine that, because that comment section is just hell on earth. But
What did I miss?
he goes,
What?
it was on
Kenny
the
G.
it was on this episode of House of Dragon, and then he was like, "Is anyone watching that show? I've been too busy watching The Acolyte." And I was like, "You do you, buddy." And everyone just tearing him apart below it.
Too busy watching that.
You do you, buddy, man.
What a
It's like,
brave
hey,
man.
Well, it's like, well, we found the Disney paid employee here, but okay.
But it's like call it any other show. Say My Name is Earl or something. You don't have to go with The Acolyte. There are plenty of other
That's
shows.
the bravest
that-
soul I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a heads up move right there.
Oh man.
Japan is just furious at this new Assassin's Creed game. They
Gosh.
Oh
have
yeah.
a petition out, and they want that game
God,
removed, man. Ja-
dang.
Japan is
Japan.
not playing.
Yeah.
Final thing, Mr. Beast wants to run for president, but he's too young, so he can't do it.
Thank God.
35.
He is one of the most fascinating people to me.
He is.
I'm like,
I don't
you
understand why
are-
people hate him.
He's I don't know. He might be a robot. I think he just understands it all way too well of how the internet and YouTube and all that junk works. I'm like, you're crazy.
Oh, the algorithm. He cracked the
He is
actual
the
algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's a beast.
He gets ads on Twitter. Like, so before you can watch his videos, he has ads before that. I'm like, nobody has that. How did he make money off of that? Holy crap.
Dude's nuts.
Although I
He's
will
that
say,
guy, yeah.
some of his criticism is so weird. Like that one where he gave like 200 people like eye surgery.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like, or sorry, he funded that. He didn't actually do that. I should be specific on that.
Yeah, lay down. Let me get there.
Yeah, lay down. I got this.
Yeah,
It's all
I've
for the
never
views.
seen a video of his. All I know is he like gives money away all the time.
Yeah, he just does
That's pretty much all he does.
ridiculous
And people hate him for that for some reason.
I don't know really much about him except for that he's a robot.
But no, that eyesight one, people are like, oh God, he's just showing his privilege. I'm like, that's a really weird way to put that, but okay, that's not how I would have put it. Like, oh, he's just feeling generous.
How dare you cure people's
Yeah.
eyes? That is weird. The internet is a weird place, guys.
We're on it.
And we live there. And if you subscribe 4 more times, we have to watch Rebel Moon, the director's cut. So there's that. You got to do it by August. What is it? First? Yeah, we're saying August 1st. I think it comes out
we have a
3rd,
time
but we'll say
limit?
first. Yeah, there's a time.
Yeah.
limit. Gotta get there before it comes out. Because if it's after, we're not doing that. We'll do something
Michael's
else.
out of the
Yeah, Michael
out of the
is
deal.
All right. Homework. What you guys do?
Who are you
You wanna go
passing it to?
first? Yeah.
Who would you like to go first, Joseph?
I don't care. Who wants to go first? Who would like to go 1st?
I'll go first because
Oh.
mine are boring and the same as they've been for the past 4 weeks. I watched Doctor Who, My Hero, and Kaiju number 8. So I watched Kaiju number 8, episode 7, 11, not 7, 11. So I have one more that isn't dubbed yet because they hate me. Still excellent. I love where they're going with it, and everyone's getting all wooshy wooshy on the wooshy wooshies. And then
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just don't want to spoil anything. But a very good episode. Yeah, last episode was the last one, and I'm very, very sad. Although, out of the blue, we got the season 2 of Soul Leveling up the trailer already. Why?
What?
I don't know why. Season 2 is already coming, and I'm ready. That's Crunchyroll said coming soon.
Some animators didn't sleep for like a month.
You know, they're like, they like this. Let's keep going.
That's gonna beat the part 2 of Bleach. What's going on?
And then I watched episode, I guess it was 9 of My Hero of this season, which I'm guessing is part 1 because they only have 10 episodes right now on like anything. Very, very cool. They're still in their fight that's happening. I don't know who's caught up and who's not.
I don't think we are. What did we watch?
I haven't gotten to I think where you're at. I think I'm 1 episode behind. But you're not watching it sub,
I'm
are
watching
you?
it dubbed.
Oh, okay, so never mind. Never mind what I just said.
Is nothing happened on the one we watched? It pretty much stayed exactly.
The one
where
we
it
just
was.
watched is where Deku, you see that he gets taken into that one warp tunnel
So-
to the island. And so
And then-
Toga
and then-
was
Yeah, they fight her.
So I just watched the one after that one.
Okay.
And so there's one more left for this part. I'm guessing this is going to be a part 1 of this season, and they're going to make us wait and hate us.
Probably.
Which is
It's
very
gonna be
but
sad.
The episode after one was very good.
Could be worse. It could be Attack on Titan. Last
Hey,
season, part
it's
1,
done.
part 2, part 3, part
It's
4.
done.
It's done. We don't have to worry
it
about
only
it.
took 12 years, but we got there.
Really,
It can't hurt you
need
no
to
more.
rewatch that. So then the last thing I did, I watched Doctor Who. I have 3 episodes. Oh, I now have 2 episodes left in this new season with the new Doctor. This one is a okay episode. It was kind of leading into I'm guessing going to be a 3-parter because it said to be continued at the end. It's kind of leading
Better
to,
than last week.
Oh, God,
when
yeah,
they
I mean,
cosplayed all over the universe.
compared to the last 2 episodes. I'm like, this is amazing. But it's kind of it was very straightforward in the sense there's a person they've been seeing throughout all the episodes. Dear God, if you guys had any idea what's happening right now, it's just like the ball is in my side and she's just slamming it over and over into my hip. I'm like, leave me alone. God,
I'm excited for
no.
Doctor Who.
You're adorable, but go away. Jeez Louise. God, that was about to drive me crazy. No, go. Walk out of the room. Walk out of the room. Go.
Walk away with it.
Walk away. Just walk away.
She did. Anyway, what Doctor Who, and then so they're finally getting to the point where they recreated. So Ruby, the companion, was not adopted, left on the doorstep of a church on Christmas Eve or something like that, and
She's elf.
they don't know. I guess so. They don't know who her mom is, and that's like a big mystery. And then they're like, so they recreate in this time room at the basically government for control or protecting the universe, the Earth from aliens. They're called UNIT. I forget their actual. It's an anagram of some sort, but or acronym. I wish which one's which. Acronym is the letters that mean words.
Letters, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anagram is where it's all jumbled, right?
where you can rearrange.
where it's
the-
mixed up.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why I can never get those two straight. Anyway, it's an acronym. And anyway, so they recreate in this time room the memory of that because the doctor can't go back there because the doctor already went there, and so they can't cross timelines. And then there's this, it turns out that some sort of god of death is after them. And that was the end of the to be continued, which was cool. The episode was a little, I'm trying to remember, it's been like a week since I watched this, but there was a lot of the just kind of like, oh, it's like unearned conversations that happen. Like they say things and it's like something that builds into something where they're like, oh, well, I've been dealing with this and blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, it's like, hi, I'm Sally. I'm dealing blah, 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 blah. You're like, okay, chill. Hold on a second. There's like 3 of those moments where I'm like, build
I
up.
just met you.
And then we can have this kind of interaction or this build up into the conversation. I don't know. But it wasn't bad. I'm excited. I say excited. I am interested to see where it goes with the God of Death. That was an interesting involvement in Doctor Who. Never met any. I guess we have met Satan once, but
Oh, that guy.
that was a long time ago.
Was he fighting Santa again?
No.
Sounds like what was it? Wreck-It Ralph's like, he's like, you seen it hang in the rough. Thanks, Satan. I appreciate it.
Satine.
But yeah, so only 2 left of Doctor Who, and we'll forget about the episodes before this one because they were terrible. This one wasn't bad though. So that's my usual run of what I've done. I did.
Have you watched?
Go ahead.
Watched the Bridgerton one? Is that the last one you watched?
That's the one before this one that was really bad with the cosplay.
Okay.
The cosplaying.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Someone eating my face off. That was
All over the
cosplaying
universe.
all over the
All over
universe.
the universe.
I did buy finally the I forget what it's called. The first movie of the director from Your Name that Jared said he likes a lot. The Forest Green one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Garden of Words?
Garden. Yeah.
It's been on my Amazon wish list since
Michael, I
basically-
have it.
Oh, well, it was on sale, so I now have it on Blu-ray.
Nice.
I didn't know you had it.
Fantastic Blu-ray, by the way.
I have it now, Blu-ray now. I also am getting the steel book of will you stop? What was the newest
Weathering
one?
with You.
No. That one
Oh.
never goes on sale.
Oh,
Ever. I'm trying. I have that one
Oh.
on my Amazon wish list too. Never goes on sale.
Suzumi?
So, no, no Miyazaki. Sorry,
I mean,
Oh, Miyazaki.
Oh, Miyazaki.
Bird Boy,
the-
Heron's Boy, Heron's
Heron-
Bird, Heron.
The Boy and the
Boy and the
Boy and the Heron. There you go.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna buy this because it went on pre-order. I was like, I'm buying this now because these movies just skyrocket in price. Like, if you ever notice it, like unless you find them at like a mom and pop store, they're so expensive online, man. And so I'm like, I'm getting a steel book. I'm gonna sell this for like $5,000 one day. Not
And they're at
really.
the theater every freaking month,
They
even
are,
though it's
man.
just Ghibli month.
Guys, guess what? June was Ghibli month, so is August. Get ready.
It's not Ghibli year, okay? It's Ghibli year.
Oh, sorry, I've gone on too long. Go ahead. I'm gonna throw to Jared.
Okay. That director, I always forget his name, is Makoto Shinkai.
I need to remember that.
I
Makoto
always
Shinkai.
forget that guy's name. I watched Shizume for the first time.
Woo.
Yay! Did you like it?
I liked it. I thought I was gonna hate it from what you guys were saying, but I liked it a lot more
Why would
than
you think that?
I thought.
It was very uneven for me.
My question is, did you guys watch it dubbed or subbed?
Dub.
Dubbed. Okay.
Dub.
Dubbed.
Michael, what am I saying?
Oh, this is the one you were saying about the voice actor.
Yeah,
actress.
the main chick it's terrible. Did a terrible job at first. I looked it up. She's more of a live action actor, so this is like her first like voiceover role. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. There was a lot of like flat lines and just like it sounded like she was just
Yeah.
reading it off a script. There's no emotion. The main dude was really good.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
He does a lot of DC stuff, like he's always Barry White in those movies, and Barry Allen, not Barry White.
I was gonna say, what? Hey, baby.
But he did a lot better well, there's a couple actresses in this. I was like, man, they must have got a lot of live action people because it was just a lot of lines that were like, wow, you could do another take. I felt really bad for that cat.
Why?
He just wanted to be her cat and her friend, and she's like, I hate you.
Oh, yeah, that was kinda sad.
And then he dies, and he's like, I could never be your cat, but I'll do this for you guys. And I was like, man, that poor cat had a terrible life. I felt so bad for him. I really liked his friend, the guy in the convertible.
Oh, yeah.
He was really cool.
Want to hook up with that mom?
It's an ant.
Totally.
It's I don't know. Maybe he did. And then her coworker really wanted to get with her, but she was like, I can get with
Oh,
this young
no.
guy. But all I was going into it thinking, man, this is gonna, from what I've heard, it's gonna suck, but it was pretty good. I am getting it feels like he recycles a lot of visuals in his movies, which I'm getting like kind of not annoyed, but like you need to do something different because it's all starting to look the same.
The dude loves
Um,
water.
Yeah.
Waters and colors everywhere.
I liked all the music in it. It was like Japanese, like 60s pop. It was really cool. Other than that, just YouTube stuff. I watched this YouTuber named Casey Lovett, which went over all the kind of 21 Pilots lore. And there was a lot more than I thought. I thought it was just like in the videos and the songs, but they did a lot during the in between periods on like Twitter and stuff like that. And there's a huge, just like kind of ARG thing with them, and then just like dropping hints and stuff like that. And it went a lot deeper than I thought. They got really involved with it. I was like, man, I'm surprised. And then like, it seems like they put more work into that and music sometimes. But that was cool. And then I watched a video because I remember articles of this one doctor. He wanted to do the first human head transplant, and he was going to do it by a certain time, and then you never heard from him again. So I watched this video by Joe Scott, and he kind of explains it. He said it'd be technically possible because he was talking to a bunch of like doctors and stuff like that. Technically possible in like a few more decades or something like that. As soon as science develops a little more. But he was like, this guy was full of crap on his promises and stuff like that. He said like the stuff he was saying doesn't even make sense for that procedure. But it was interesting because I was like, oh yeah, what did happen to that? I never heard anything, like if they even tried it. He never got funded it. So it never happened, but he's still like posting papers on it, like, oh, I'm close, I'm about to do it. But he's kind of just like
do a Kickstarter, man. Human head transplant.
But yeah, then I watched Vsauce 2.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Why would we want, like, who would, you have the choice. Okay. You've got do human head transplant or make cybernetic bodies. Why do you choose this path?
All right, Carlos, calm down.
Cybernetic bodies as well.
It's like,
it just seems more ethical.
It's like it also repairable. I mean, sure, but human bodies go down eventually. You just get the next upgrade when you get to like your rusty years, when you're putting too much oil in your joints, and you're like, I need the new model. Boom, moving forward. Like,
you're saying I could be like Genos from One Punch Man? Heck yes.
Yeah.
Why choose?
And then you put like a big Honda on your chest, and you got money just generate from the advertising.
It just seems like such a complicated like business model. We need someone to die. We need to get their body quickly so we can swap it with this guy's head who is in a body that ain't working. For the small chance that's going to work, like it just seems way.
Michael, that's how organ harvesting is.
But you need the whole thing, man. You need the whole.
And they said it'd be like a 16-hour procedure if it was possible.
Yeah, it's it's like
And you would need a team of what was it, like 20 doctors on staff to do it.
Or two of those Elden Ring players that
with a couple bongos and
Does it with a saxophone. It's just an operating room with a saxophone and a drummer, and you're like, what is going on?
And then the guy with the whistle doing it.
he lives.
One of my favorite of honest trailers, yeah, for games is like seeing those guys that like beat Dark Souls games with like saxophone, guitar, or the guitars. It's like, shouldn't you be out like curing cancer or something? Like
Yeah,
you have better use for your talents.
third.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, why put your mind to something so limited
Dang.
when you could
Get to Michael's level,
Yeah.
doctors.
I mean, like it's like push forward, man. Like put us on a like if you're gonna take my head, make like a make some sort
Make
of
it
like
better.
make a futuristic body, like make a flubber body, and then put my head on that.
Yeah. I've always been
Like,
for
boom.
cybernetics.
Maybe they're
Flubber, man.
thinking you can't have babies if you're on the cyber head or cyber body.
True.
I mean, you're not doing it in your broken body, so
Maybe that's what they're hoping for the new ones.
Eddie,
so I watched a video off of Carlos's recommendation because one time I had him over and I disturbed him. And so he's been like trying to
Disturb you.
Did the same
disturb
thing?
me. And I'm like, impossible. But he did show me a video that was pretty like messed up. It was about this girl she was 13. She grew up with her family and they were just terrible to her. She was chained up to like a child's toilet for like 13 years.
is this that
And
book
just
Alex read?
I don't know.
I think
This was a
so.
video, not a book.
It's so upsetting, man.
So she was pretty much a feral child, and like she didn't know how to speak and stuff like that. Someone found her, but she didn't go to like a foster home. She went with like scientists because they're like, oh, this is an opportunity to kind of do tests. And they're like, we can figure out like more about like human speech and like how that develops and if it can develop in someone so late. And so it just kept going downhill. And I was like, it should have been something that like, oh, sweet. Someone found her and now she's going to be better. And then, nope.
Family.
Science was like, nope, we need to test. And so she just kept going through testing. Eventually she did go into a foster home, but she went to homes that were even worse than the ones that she started off in. And it was a very frustrating and like, you're like, man, people suck kind of video. So I wasn't disturbed. I was just mad at humans and scientists. So thinking about science over humanity. And it was more just angry than disturbed.
Carlos recommended this.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Oh, okay. I was like, I do not remember this, but there was a YouTuber called Explore With Us, and he did a video on this guy that he was a mass killer, and he killed over My Little Pony. One of the characters, I don't know pony names. I think it was Twilight Sparkle or something like that. I don't know their names. One of them died in the show. This guy got very upset and just went on a killing spree, and that was his reason. And I was just like, it's not that serious. They're just ponies. They're just
Careful, Jared.
I don't affiliate with this man below me.
Yeah.
Do not
Twilight
invoke the
Sparkle's
wrath of
death
the
was a
bronies.
tragedy.
they went to pony heaven. It's better. They're happy. You don't need to hurt people for this. I don't know how to say this YouTuber's name. I am so sorry, but you can find it with the name of the video. Why are bowling animations so weird? And he goes over like those. If you've been on like Instagram reels and stuff like that, you'll see some randomly of like bowling or like a bowling balls going down a street doing a shoot up of drive by of pins. And you're like, who
Oh,
are
yeah.
making these freaking animations?
Ones, yeah.
And he's
No,
just
the unsubscribed guys had a whole section about that. About when they got a strike, they had the hey, no Russian part, but it's bowling pin or bowling balls, and they walk
Yeah.
into a bowling alley and it's all bowling pins. It's like, oh god.
He just talks about like the different, like the big chains, like what is it, Brunswick and stuff like that. And I believe it was them that have the most like weird ones, like the ones with that video. And
Just like
he I was kind of hoping he'd be like, who's animating this and like why are they messed up? But he kind of just goes over all the different ones and like the different companies that have them instead of telling me why and then who is doing this. So I was like, this is a good video, but I wanted truth. I didn't want.
I need the information.
I didn't want more questions. I wanted answers.
Got you with that 60 minutes.
I love videos like that. Just some random topic and they kind of go into it.
Yeah.
But that's all for me this time.
I'm gonna interrupt one more time because I forgot I did a YouTube.
Oh,
Did
I didn't even know you could go on there,
I did-
Michael.
I did
How
a
long was
YouTube.
it, Michael?
It was.
it doesn't matter.
32 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh
That's
my
good
God.
for you.
That's a good
Wow,
start.
That's good for you. Marco.
This was a video from long story of how I got to it, but Mr. Ballin is
Sounds
Right.
familiar.
he has like 9 million subscribers. He does like a bunch of true story like murder mysteries and junk like that. This one's called The Child Star is Evil. And he goes in to tell a story of this couple who retired, bought a yacht, went and sailed around the waters. He tells the story very long. It takes a long time to actually get to the story. So I'm gonna shorten it by like 45 minutes.
It was only 33.
And it was only 33 minutes.
And they sail the yacht around until one of their kids about to have a kid, or one of their kids about to have kids, so their first grandkids. They're like, oh well, let's sell the yacht and we'll go live and be good grandparents and happy, lovey dovey dovey da. So they get the boat on sale, whatever, or the boat on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Like, I don't know what it was. End up selling it for $500,000. Yeah, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna go. What the heck happened? Yeah, they told their sons like, hey, okay, they're the kid they're having the baby, like, we're just got the people coming, we're gonna show them, sell it, and then we're headed your way. Never heard from them again. No one heard from these people. So the uncle, the brother of the husband of the two married people, is, I think he was a detective or something like that, some sort of private investigator, and he immediately got suspicious pants because of this, and so he went down there and is looking for it. And he sees their yacht. I think it was called, I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, and so he kind of sees it. Looks like it's kind of been sitting there a while. Looks a little disheveled and not taken care of. So it's kind of weirded out. He tries to find the owners. Ends up leaving his business card because no one was there, saying, "Hey, I am blah blah blah. This blah blah. Looking for the people who sold this boat. Please call my number, whatever." And so the wife of the couple who bought the boat calls him back, like, "Hey, we're actually looking for them too. There's some controls we don't understand, but we've been trying to call them for the past couple of days. No one's answering." So it gets this whole thing to where, long story short, the couple that bought the boat, they lied like several times about saying they had seen the people, they had this deal with the people, and then they sent them, and that's the last time they saw them. Like, several times they get brought back in for questioning. To jump to the end, which gets a little ridiculous and crazy, the husband was a child star actor. That's why it says this child star is evil. He was in Power Rangers.
Knew it.
He apparently was basically a hitman. Like, he would get hired to kill people. He found this guy, saw his boat, went and purchased the boat with a bunch of money because he robbed a building, he robbed a bank or something like that, went to jail, but hid the money, came out, took the money, used it to buy the boat.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. And so he took the couple out on the test drive, where I forget what they called it for boats. And
Test
Sailing
float.
sample.
is that what it is?
No.
It's something weird like that. It was pretty close.
Really?
I can't remember what
Test
exactly it was.
float.
But he
Test float.
ended up hiring two other guys, like this really big black dude and then this kind of creepy other looking guy. And he was like, "Hey, I'll give you this much, and we're gonna kill these people." And they're like, "Okay." And so I don't know where you find people that just agree to that easily, but he did. He took them out, and basically, well, they're sailing out the boat. They get to the middle of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, I need to go check this room with blah blah." Because at first the husband and wife were really suspicious, but then he brought his wife in before, because they're like, the husband got really suspicious, like, we're not doing this. And his wife came in with their baby, and they like coaxed him in, like, "Oh, it's okay, I come from blah blah blah." Because I guess the wife, who sold the boat, loves babies, and that was apparently part of the story. I don't know. Anyway, so they're on the boat. The big dude and the main killer go down with the husband to look at the bedroom or something like that. The wife hears a big bang, bang, scrape, scrape, boom, boom, and she's like, "What the heck?" And so the other guy jumps on her. They end up dragging both of them up, taking the chain of the anchor and wrapping it around them, and then he just pushes the anchor off the boat, and it's just like catches it, and they like get caught against it, and then end up just dragged over the boat and die, and is like some hitman weird junk. And I was just like, and they have like actual recordings, everything, and the news stuff and everything of all the stuff that happened. I'm like, what the freaking turd-butts, man? Like, what a disturbing way to go. And I'm like, but they never explained why he was hired to kill these people, or why he was like, I can't remember if he was hired, if he was like, I don't know, some sort of avenger of killing people, but they never explained why. I'm like, these people seem like normal people, but it was a weird, really long video. Like I said, he explained way too much of the backstory, because it kind of lulls you into the mood to get into, what's going on, what's actually going to happen. But yeah, it's just like just stuck him to an anchor and then kicked over the boat. And the only reason that like no one caved except for his two accomplices, surprise, surprise, they're the ones that caved. But like the husband and wife, like literally they have footage of them. They took the camera that was on the boat of the people that sold it with their home videos and everything, and they have a recording of like that weekend after they killed them at someone's party, of like they just recorded over their home video, and it just skips right to that. And they're just like at a wedding or something like that, and they're just like la di da di da, we just killed people and took their butt. Like, what is crazy? It was a wild video, but that was I dove into YouTube. I forgot about it until now.
I have one kind of related, because it was disturbing, and it also reminded me of Michael. So it was this guy who, so I've been like into these stupid data analyst videos, those ones with the cartoons, and they tell you facts and stuff like that. But anyway, it was this guy. So I was watching a video about like the most painful accidents humans have ever been through. So there's the guy, he's welding by this manufacturing machine, and he like got sucked up into the machine, and it like crushed him into like a CD box. Like that was the size of the intake thing, and it like crushed every bone in his body, and he somehow survived from that. And
what?
I was like,
what?
Yeah, he survived. All these people survived.
He
was
walked
crazy.
around like a square CD.
Broke every bone in his body.
Did they transfer his head to something?
Maybe, I don't know. But
this is what Michael meant by cybernetics. Was this?
No, I don't want to be in CD box.
No, I was fine with this until you said he survived. I was like, what? How is that possible?
Dude, these videos, humans can survive anything. Because
I've seen a few videos, man. There's like
crazy.
People getting shot up by nails, and they're like, fine. Like in the brain. It's like, oh, I missed most of it. I was like, what?
Okay, guys.
I'll try to find it and send it to you guys. But there's another one, like this lady got stuck in ice water and somehow survived that for hours. So I guess I'll go, since I don't have that much. Thomas, did you want to add
for it?
a story?
The only thing I'll say is that I know what you're talking about, Michael. So it's the guy, the murder.
Oh, sorry, gotcha.
Oh, the Power Ranger guy.
We got on
What
CD
are you just
people
talking
and
about?
nails and heads, man. I got lost.
So that was the Red Power Ranger from Wild Force. Which is funny because that's the only.
This guy was an extra, I think. He wasn't like a Power Ranger himself. He was just an extra on it.
No, he's the red guy. The red.
The one that I watched, he was like a kid when there were Power Rangers going on. They showed him.
But all right. Pretty sure
Wasn't there a Power Ranger
spitting
that
murders out
was a
everywhere.
kid, and then he like turned into a man?
Yeah, that's the Blue Turbo Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
I knew that was some kind of
Different
story. All
I
right.
mean, this guy should talk about actual Power Rangers. So
Okay. So like I said, I don't have much. Me and Jonah finished our watch of the Batman animated series and the Superman animated series. I have the hot take that the Superman animated series is actually better than the Batman animated series. So
Never
fight
seen
me if you will.
That's impossible. One's Batman, and the other guy is Superman. So,
Dude, there's like no bad Superman episodes. There's some bad Batman episodes. Anytime he has to fight like cows and stuff, that's kind of dumb. So we started a Batman Beyond, and can you guys imagine if we lived in a sane world? We would have a Batman Beyond movie and a Knights of the Old Republic
it.
movie.
I
That would
want a Batman Beyond game.
There was one.
There was one.
One
wasn't
good
there?
one now.
But what kind of world that we don't have a Batman Beyond movie? It's just crazy, especially with what's his name looking like old Bruce now. um, and then we continued with our Alfred Hitchcock watch along. This time was 1946 Notorious. It had Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman. It was pretty good. It's kind of a romance spy thriller. So it's this guy who works for like I don't remember if they're the CIA, but he recruits Ingrid Bergman's character. She's the daughter of a Nazi scientist, and they want her to go down to Brazil and kind of infiltrate this group of Nazi scientists and figure out what they're doing. So she does that, but she falls in love with Cary Grant's character. So they're all conflicted because they love each other, but she's got to she's got to seduce this other dude. So he's just like, oh, I want to be with her, not him. I don't want him to be with her. And it was very good. The ending was really good because it's like, dang, how are they going to get out of this situation? Because they're like surrounded, and she's drugged, and he's got to get her out of the house. And it was very good, a very satisfying ending for the movie. So one of the better Alfred Hitchcocks. I'm going to have to order them. I think we've only watched 7 or something like that. So I got a bit to go, but we might have Hitchcock in our future if you follow our House 6 channel. So that's all I'll say about that. What else I do? I didn't do anything else, I don't think. So I throw it over to Thomas. Go ahead.
Throw it over to me. Okay. So I did also watch Kaiju number 8, but I'm kind of confused on the length of the season. Because they're like, oh, the final of this season is already here. I'm just like, what? So I don't know if episode 12 is the last one. I don't know, but I liked it. But I have no idea if it's the last one or not. Apparently, they had a big event at Crunchyroll or at Anime Expo. So apparently something was announced. I don't know what. So, okay. So I did my book and movie little thing. I read and watched The Perfect Storm, which was a fantastic book. Very in a good movie. I like the movie. Kind of makes you want to sail on the open seas and hunt for swordfish, but also like terrified of the ocean because it claims a lot of people's lives. So it's mildly terrifying. Also,
Does it claim their
you
lives
can make
or
a-
they become fish people?
either way is pretty horrifying, Michael.
They
Just
return
saying.
to the sea.
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Gran Turismo 7. It's been kind of like my thing, and that got me on a bit of a weird movie streak. So I watched Gran Turismo the movie that we watched. Fantastic movie, honestly. I think I underrated it when I saw it, but I really like it. And then I watched Ferrari, the Michael Mann one. Not as good as I wanted it to be. The racing scene was pretty good. It's also kind of, I don't want to give anything away. It's very bloody at one point. Let's just say that.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. But honestly, like they kind of focus on too much on like his separation than actually him, building Ferrari, which I thought was more
Napoleon
interesting.
then?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it kind of had that same vibe, but it was just like, luckily there was nothing too. I mean, there was one scene you're like, oh, okay, but nothing like Napoleon. I'm sorry, that was disgusting. But yeah, it just wasn't. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I don't really see, like, this was directed by Michael Mann, but honestly, if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't have guessed like at all. The music wasn't amazing. It didn't feel like a Michael Mann movie, which I really don't understand. So watch that one. And then I watched Ford versus Ferrari, which honestly is the much better version of that story. Because
So
in
good.
Ferrari, they were talking about like the main point of contention is like him getting full control over Ferrari so he can go to Ford and like try to make a deal. But they never really even go like in the movie. They never even talk to Ford. So I'm just like, okay, what was the point of this whole thing if nothing is resolved? And so it's just a very disappointing to watch Ford versus Ferrari, where it has a very complete story and a very good story. And honestly, I think the racing was a little better. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that was a great movie. And then some YouTube. I watched a 2-hour documentary on Miami Vice by Indigo Gaming, and it's pretty cool. And honestly, if you don't understand the impact that Miami Vice had on pop culture, like in general, it's kind of, I recommend you watch it because it's kind of shocking to see how much it influenced in American culture. It's pretty crazy, especially during 1984, where it was, and then when it ended, it's kind of like a hot spot of cultural explosion, especially with all the music and the TV and movies, and it's just very cool. And then this last video I watched on YouTube was random. It's a guy called Van Nessent, and he's just like a hardware like DIY channel. But he sees this zip line that his kids go to at a little park, like where it had like the two poles here. They had that metal one in that metal rod in the middle, and you go that kind of thing. Well, the bearings were messed up. He's like, well, I kind of want to repair this, but I'm not really authorized to do this. And so he's like, well, I'll just take a note from one of my heroes and one of my mentors, Werner Herzog. And I'm just like, what? Who? Werner Herzog is a director, Michael, and he's very much
The Critical Drinker just did a video on one of his movies.
Like the advice that he got from Herzog is like, always carry around forged papers. So if you need to get something done, you can get it done and then leave. You won't have to wait around. And so he's like, and then he showed like this photograph that he had of Werner Herzog. I'm just like, you're like a hardware channel. What the hell?
Man, that's a hero. Man.
Yeah.
And so he goes in, like he shows like some papers to some people, and then just repairs the zip line. He's like, there you go. And then like the community's really like thankful for it. It's like, oh, could you take a look at the slide that's like that's unbalanced? He's like, oh yeah, I got this. So he made the park a little better just on the lie. I'm just like, this is such a weird video.
Renegade.
Now he's been caught and fined because of YouTube.
I know, knowing our government.
Yeah,
throw him in jail.
But it was a cool video. Like, it's just kind of like one of those heartwarming. It was a random like recommendation. I'm just like, I don't know what this is, but one thing led to another. Again, I wasn't expecting the Werner Herzog like connection out of a hardware channel. I was like, what? So, but yeah, that's all I got.
Make a boat go over a jungle.
Yeah, talk about DIY. Good grief. Fitz
All right,
over here.
I think we finished. Does anyone have any last words? I mean, you could subscribe, and next time we could break the news to Michael that we're watching the Rebel Moon Director's
Hold
Cut.
your subscribes until August 2nd.
You can throw us more likes for Michael's sake. Just throw us more likes because that helps us too. But yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And we hope you had a good 4th of July. Did anyone see any fireworks? I heard fireworks. I didn't see them.
Dude, we're at my aunt and uncle's house. They have a full backyard, so we're having a good day doing all that stuff. Then the storm blows in and goes crazy. So that postponed everyone's fireworking until the storm dissipated.
Mm-hmm.
And they're out of city limits, but they're not out in the country, and it's an actual neighborhood. I mean, they're on like their houses are on like 2 lots, so they're like the wider lawns. It's not like right next to us. But these people are having like a full-on show in their backyard next to us. There's just crap flying all over the ground and everything. It's so loud. And it just super. Just apparently the guy's not a very nice person from what they're saying. But it's like, what kind of dirtbag do you have to be to like? It's like there are fields everywhere. They're out of city limits. So you just go a little bit further, and there's nothing else. Just go over there and blow up stuff. What are you doing? And then I get home, and thank goodness my dogs don't care. Like a lot of dogs really, really hate fireworks and they freak out. My dogs are like, oh, that was weird. But I get home.
Patty's like, that's not a ball.
Yeah. And so I'm talking, my cousin could talk my ear off. So we talked for till like midnight. Then he and his friends went to Whataburger, and I was like, peace out, not going there.
Oh man, you could have had good Whataburger.
Oh God, no. We went after we helped who did we help move?
Thomas
move, and we go to
I'm right here.
we go to Whataburger, and it's like I finished it, and I was like, somehow, as much as I hate on Whataburger, somehow this was below my expectations. It was worse than I expected it to be.
We were asking him
I was
why
just
he,
like,
he just he
God.
didn't even get onion rings. He's like, oh, he liked the onion rings, and he didn't even get that.
I thought I would try I tried a whole different burger. It was the toast kind. It was like I can't remember what it's called. And
Oh yeah,
it wasn't the melt. It was a different one. But I've tried the melt before. But I was just like, this is somehow even lower than I expected it to be. It's so bad. Anyway, so I didn't get back till probably 12:30 at night, and I got home and I watched something and I ate some food. And it's like pushing 1 o'clock, and this is how disrespectful people are. There are still explosions all over my neighborhood, which is not the double lotted neighborhood. It's just normal freaking houses. I'm like, is it worth that much to blow up your stuff? I don't understand it. You paid the money.
Dude, you can only buy fireworks for that month, man. You got
to blow them up later, man. It's just like because of a storm, people are thinking they have the right to keep people. I mean, it's they've got Friday tomorrow. I don't have to work, thank goodness. But the rest of these people have to go to freaking work. Their dogs panicking. Their eyeballs are popping out of their skulls. It's just like I was a little disappointed in humanity at 1:30 in the morning on. Not 5th of July. Jesus Christ.
I got you beat. On July 3rd or July 2nd, in my apartment complex, they were setting off fireworks. And we got an email. They're like, hey, no fireworks. This is an apartment
Get
complex.
a brain. We just had a fire here not long ago. Calm down, people.
Luna was like, the heck? She's like, what is going on?
I was driving from New Mexico to Lubbock on July 3rd. And it was cool because you see all these fireworks stands on the side of the road. They're all lit up. It's like a carnival out there. I mean, I wish they had restaurants. I would have stopped and got like a hot dog or something. Missed opportunity, guys. You got to open hot dog restaurants.
Stands in the middle of
every July 3rd.
highway stretch of road.
All right. Luna is attacking Jared, so we better go. I like how she's been like holding her hand out for you. But
He wants love.
She wants subscriptions. That's what she wants. She wants to see Rebel Moon, the director's cut. So that's what she wants. All right. Throw us some likes and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time. Bye.